Okay. So, yeah. So, I did some adventuring, I guess. Kind of my share of adventuring. I wish I did a lot more. It was just kind of hard to get the motivation, I guess. Being in, I guess, an environment that's just not, when I have to ride that far just to get out of town. But I don't know. I had, Tommy wasn't just my mountain bike buddy, just also party buddy. There were like 4 Americans that were living there together that we all actually met at the hotel when I first got there. And we all got married to Chilean girls. One of them was with an Argentinian girl. And one of them got married, and we went to a bachelor party. It was kind of funny. His bachelor party in the hotel that we all met. We booked a room, and I decided to play this really funny prank. Where, like, because I knew that all the guys at the bachelor party, it was only like 6 guys or something. I knew that none of them were going to do cocaine because they were all like really conservative, like have their own like computer businesses and stuff like this. So I rolled up like 20 gram bags, and the way they do it down there is they roll up the cocaine and the grams of cocaine in paper, and they fold it a certain way. So I rolled up like 20 bags of 1 gram bags of flour, I think it was. Was it flour or baking soda? One of the two. I think it's flour that looks just like cocaine. And I go up to the party and I go, yeah, man, I have 20 bags of cocaine. And I throw it on the bed. I'm like, let's party. And they're all like, oh, actually, we're not interested, thanks, though. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, shit, okay, well, I'll do it then. So I was like sniffing up all this flour and pretending it was cocaine, and like pretending I was getting all high. Like I'd like put up all these lines of cocaine and just go, oh, and then like start to like do like this and like, you know, like do like that, and then just like start to only be fixated on that and just do line after line after line. And then they'd be like looking at me like, oh, dude, don't you think you're doing too much? And I'm like, man, this is party night. I'm going to do another gram of it. So I have like 5 grams or something. I just run through and until my nose started bleeding from like all the flour that from the stuff. So they're like, oh, dude, your nose is bleeding. You might want to get that checked out. So I go over to the corner and I break out this big flask of fake blood that I brought from home, that I guess my stepson was given to him from some like Incredible Hulk like thing that they gave him, and I spill it all over my face. I let it like, so it's like dripping down my chin, and I go back and I'm like, and I start stumbling, going, ah! I go, one of the guys goes, oh my God! He grabs me and throws me in the bathroom. He's like, you need to get this checked out. You're gonna die. And so my friend was like, whoa, hold on, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. And he goes, what? You think it's a joke? Look at him. It's not a joke. It's not. And he goes, no, it's a joke. It's not real blood. It's not real cocaine. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he couldn't understand him. He wouldn't believe him. We finally got him to understand. It was funny, man. But now I had like fake blood like stained on my face, and I ended up getting like way too drunk, so drunk that I didn't even know like where we were. And we got in the car and drove, and I was like, where? We went down to some basement bar, and my friend, actually Tony, was talking to some really hot lawyer girl. And so I sat down, stood over him to kind of, I don't know, hang out with Tony. And the next thing I know, she's talking to me, and then Tony's gone, and she's like all talking to me, and like invites me back to her place, and like pays for the taxi and everything. And she lives with herself, and fucking huge boobs. She's the hottest girl I've ever seen. But then finally she's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, you're married. I'm not gonna do anything. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But I slept there anyway because I was like really tired. And so then I get up the next morning and I take a taxi home, and I told my wife that I stayed at my buddy's house. But then she talked to his wife, and she said that I actually wasn't there, so then I got busted. But she didn't really care. She said she believed me, that I didn't do anything, but her friend didn't. But whatever. But which that's actually pretty commendable that she would believe me, because like in Chile, being faithful and fidelity is definitely not something that people can do. People aren't faithful down there like they are in America. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because it's in like a culture of like lying, so they just like to lie, or they don't. Like the hotel we were staying at when we first got there, that I was at for 3 months, was actually like a hotel room where couples go, or not couples, but people who were two-timing on their significant other go with somebody else. And like we'd see it all the time. We'd see these like adults, like 50-year-olds, couples like go up there and get rooms for the night. Chileans who live there. It's bizarre. And yeah, my wife was with a guy for like a year, who's like this really rich guy. His father owned a mechanic store had 20 people working for him, and my wife, before she met me, realized that she was just his mistress after going out with him for a year, because he never let her actually go in his house, because he said that he lived with his parents, but it turned out that he lived with his wife the whole time. But he told her that she wasn't allowed to meet his parents or go into his house, because his parents were didn't like women or something, and didn't like that he was seeing a new woman because he had a child, and he didn't or didn't like poor girls or something. But finally the people who worked for him were like, wake up, girl, this guy's married. So then she was like, are you married? And she never got him to admit that he was married. Like liars, I guess, will lie, at least down there, will lie until the cows come home. They'll never, I guess one of the creeds for them is just to lie until, and just never, ever, 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 ever admit. Never admit. Even if you're busted, like she busted him red-handed, and he just never admitted. So anyway. And then like she had the father of her kid was I guess always two-timing on her, and she caught him red-handed 4 times, because he's like a famous guy, like a household name. Everybody in Chile knows him. She even said in the 90s, at one point, he was more important than the president of Chile. So there were like always women calling at the house and like asking to talk to him, and it was like really annoying. But so even though he was like two-timing on her, he was really, and both of them actually, like I guess this rich guy, mechanic shop owner, was always accusing her of two-timing on him, and calling her up like every 3 hours to make sure that she wasn't on a date with another guy, and even though he was married, and like accusing her of like being on a date, but I guess that's kind of in a way how they express love. Like if you act really jealous, and you act like you're afraid they're two-timing on you, and you want to keep tabs on them and not let them go out, that's kind of a way of showing your affection. So maybe in a way they actually like that. Like I think in a lot of ways my wife wanted me to be more jealous with her or something. But anyways, yeah, so she had this other guy, the father of her kid, and she actually caught him in bed with a woman, and in his mother's house, and the mother tried to not let her upstairs. He's like, oh no, he's sick, he's not here. And they tried to block her, but she like pushed her out of the way and ran upstairs, and he was in bed with another lady, but he like pushed the lady out of the way, and then she yelled at him, but then he like beat her unconscious and kicked her in the stomach, and she got a miscarriage after that. But I guess she got cancer right after that, so maybe she got miscarriage from the cancer. And she had a piece of her uterus taken out, and they told her she'd never be able to have a baby again. And so I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, cool, I don't have to worry about having a baby. But anyways, she got pregnant anyways, and had a healthy baby. But yeah, I guess